There were so many inequities in those days that you could reach out and pick something and change it. Mary Athalie Range.
So, and actually, my grandmother got started in politics really by no design of her own.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she was a young mother,
Mm-hmm.
and wife, of course, and she was very involved in her children's education. So as her children, began to matriculate through the public schools here, again during segregation times, she was concerned about, the amenities in the school, the quality of the education, and of course she thought that the education that her children were receiving should be equal to the education that whites were receiving in other, schools, public schools that blacks could not attend. So she fought in those days for things like cold drinking water fountains in the schools in black neighborhoods. Um, she also fought to actually integrate one of the schools here, Orchard Villa Elementary School, which my uncle was in the first class of black students to attend. And she was instrumental in the integration of that school because of where we were living at the time. The only black school, Liberty City Elementary, would have required her children to walk across 17th Avenue in order to attend 17th Avenue, which was then and still remains a busy commercial street. She did not feel comfortable with her kids walking across that roadway, and so that was one of the reasons that she felt that the Orchard Villa School, which was on the same side of 17th Avenue as her home, and would have meant a much shorter walk for her children to school. She said, well, because of where we live, why should my children not be able to go to this school so that they don't have to cross this major thoroughfare and endanger themselves every day? And so eventually the school was integrated, and a number of pastors in the area um, saw a lot of the work that she was doing, and there came a vacancy on the city commission back in the 60s, mid 60s, and these pastors got together and sought to have someone to sit in that seat that the previous commissioner had vacated. And so they approached my grandmother, asked her if she would consider it, and eventually, at their urging, she did. And so she was able to, and actually I spoke out of turn. She actually ran for the seat first and lost. And then there was a commissioner that came up and basically vacated the seat, and she was able to take the remainder of that term. And then after that term finished, she was elected to a new term. And so that was her beginning into city politics as a city commissioner. But yes, she fought prior to being in that position for very basic things for her children, but also for other children in her community. Again, she felt that black children deserved an equal education to white children.
And she was on the PTA. She was the president.
She was on the PTA, and I believe she was the president at the time. And so obviously she kind of led the charge for a number of these efforts, and was not afraid to go downtown to the school board or to whoever the appropriate authorities were in order to help effect this change.
And then also she fought because in the black neighborhoods the garbage wasn't being picked up as often.
Yeah.
She fought for that. So little things like that
Yeah, that was one of her first efforts as she was on the city commission. The black neighborhoods did not have regular trash pickup service, and she thought that was absurd. Folks in the black neighborhoods had to burn their trash and that sort of thing, which has its own hazards and is not the healthiest thing, safest thing to be doing, in your home or around your home. And so, she was not getting the response that she thought was appropriate from the commission. And so she had folks from the neighborhood go down to the commission with their trash and set their trash out in front of the commission to demonstrate, how ridiculous it was that, blacks did not have regular trash pickup in their neighborhood. So that was one of the first things that she did that, caught a lot of attention. in the community, and certainly the attention of the commissioners, and they came to understand that she would be a force to be reckoned with, and that they ought pay her some attention going forward. So
just like good trouble, just like John Lewis in this.
Absolutely,
yeah.
good trouble,
Yeah,
good trouble.
Definitely.
She was all about that. No